Right now on Good Morning America, first look, new clues in the search for Nancy Guthrie as sources report growing frustration among the family, and the sheriff denies a new report about how evidence is being handled.
The looming shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats refusing to fund the agency unless changes are made to immigration enforcement. What a shutdown will mean for workers and for air travelers.
The company behind Ring doorbell camera addressing privacy concerns after their controversial Super Bowl ad.
Breaking overnight, President Trump pardons 5 former NFL players. Their crimes ranging from perjury to drug trafficking.
New video showing how the CIA hopes to recruit Chinese spies.
Top moments from the Winter Games, including the 54-year-old athlete making history, and a mother and son duo joining the competition. And a Team USA star gets engaged at the finish line.
Later, the humanoid robot that could be the scariest yet.
And the clever toddler who made his way inside this toy machine and was in no rush to get out.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America, First Look.
Good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Fife.
And I'm Hannah Batal. We begin with new developments in the search for Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. She's been missing now for nearly 2 weeks.
Sources say there's growing frustration even as the FBI reveals new details about the man seen outside her home the night she was kidnapped. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning marks 13 days since Nancy Guthrie was apparently abducted from her Tucson home. Sources in contact with the Guthrie family now describe a growing feeling of intense frustration with the pace of the investigation and the limited amount of information coming from investigators. Savannah Guthrie now posting old home videos of her mom saying, "We will never give up on her." Neighbors also desperate for answers.
She was the kindest, warmest, the most giving person I've ever met, and was passed on to her daughter Savannah as well, because that's how Savannah is.
A white tent was visible yesterday outside the 84-year-old's front door. Investigators later leaving the scene with a large case marked video forensics. They've now released a physical profile of the armed, masked man seen on this doorbell video outside the home, using the height of the archway and size of the floor tiles for reference. They estimate he's about 5'9" to 5'10" in height, with an average build, and they believe he was carrying a black 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker Pack backpack. Investigators are also analyzing 2 black gloves found on the side of a road not far from Nancy's home. The New York Post was there when one glove was recovered.
We don't know if the gloves are actually evidence or not, but those are going to be tested. They're going to be looked at, compared to the video, to see if they are the same gloves, and then will DNA or fingerprint analysis give us anything from those gloves.
Police now indicating there was a suspicious vehicle on Nancy's street between 9:30 and 11 a.m. on January 31st, the day before she was reported missing. They're now seeking video from the last month, specifically from January 1st to February 2nd, asking neighbors to look for anything they deem out of the ordinary or important to our investigation.
Out of the ordinary means cars that you don't recognize. Are there license plates that they can see? If you can't see the license plate, can you see what the car is? Is it a gray pickup? Is it a white Toyota? Can you make out any particular type of bumper sticker? That's what they're going to be looking for in all of those videos.
The FBI has now doubled the reward in this case to $100,000 as it continues to filter through thousands of tips from the public. Hannah, Sophie.
Andrea, thank you. The local sheriff is denying a report from Reuters that claimed he's blocking the FBI from examining key evidence at its crime lab. The sheriff was quoted last night saying no evidence has been blocked.
We learned overnight about a deadly shooting at South Carolina State University. At least 2 people were killed when someone opened fire inside an apartment on campus. That triggered a campus-wide lockdown. No word yet on what prompted the gunfire. Classes there are canceled today.
New fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein files. A top lawyer at an investment bank, Goldman Sachs, who previously served as White House counsel to President Obama, is resigning. Catherine Rumler represented Jeffrey Epstein when he was arrested in 2019, but newly revealed emails show a much closer relationship. In them, she described Epstein as an older brother, downplaying his sex crimes.
We turn now to the looming shutdown of the Homeland Security Department. A last-ditch effort to fund the agency before tonight's deadline has failed. Democrats are demanding changes to immigration enforcement, but the impact of a shutdown could have far-reaching effects, including at the nation's airports. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details. Nicole, good morning.
Well, Hannah, good morning to you. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will be affected if the Homeland Security Department is forced to shut down. And that means going without a paycheck for the second time in recent months.
This morning, with many members of Congress already having left Washington on recess, the Department of Homeland Security is all but certain to shut down this weekend. Republicans and Democrats are locked in a funding battle. Democrats refuse to fund the agency without changes to immigration enforcement. They want to require ICE agents to get warrants signed by a judge before making arrest. And they want to ban agents from wearing face coverings.
We have a constitutional obligation to only fund a Department of Homeland Security that is obeying the law. And this Department of Homeland Security is not obeying the law.
Republicans say there aren't enough judges to sign so many warrants, and they say unmasking agents will put their safety at risk. If Homeland Security does shut down, ICE will continue to be funded, thanks to President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill signed into law last year. But a long list of other agencies will be impacted.
That will shut down important parts of DHS, whether that's FEMA, whether that's the Coast Guard, whether that is also about the CISA, the Cyber Security Agency.
Airports could see the most immediate impact. TSA agents will be required to work but won't get paid, similar to what happened after the government shut down last fall, which could trigger a wave of sick calls, leading to delays.
These same workers, these same agents who went without a paycheck for 43 days because of the failure of the Democrats to come to the table then. It's exactly what we're seeing now.
But in the wake of the fatal shootings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good by federal agents in Minneapolis, most Democrats are holding firm, insisting change is necessary.
That's what motivates us. This has got to stop. It's not America.
Even the announcement that agents are withdrawing from Minnesota was not enough to get Democrats to relent.
Without legislation, what Tom Homan says today could be reversed tomorrow on a whim from Donald Trump.
And Senate leaders say negotiations will continue over the weekend, but many are bracing for the shutdown to last more than a week. Sophie.
Nicole, thank you. President Trump has pardoned 5 former NFL players. They include Hall of Famer Joe Klecko, who was convicted of perjury, Nate Newton, Jamal Lewis, and Travis Henry, who were either convicted or pleaded guilty to drug charges, and Billy Cannon, who was convicted of counterfeiting. The White House did not comment on why Trump issued those pardons.
The Trump administration has revoked a landmark decision that allowed for the regulation of greenhouse gas emissions. The EPA is rejecting the science that determined greenhouse gases endanger public health. President Trump calling it a giant scam. White House says it is the largest deregulatory action in U.S. history and will save money and jobs, but critics accuse the administration of siding with corporate polluters. The move will now face legal challenges.
Speaking of the climate, people here in the East have seen brutal cold and snow, but in parts of the West, a very different story.
In parts of the Mountain West, the view this winter has looked more like spring. And there's concern. Even future storms may not alleviate the snow drought gripping the region. Unprecedented warmth has left snow cover at the lowest level in decades.
It's not just a matter of not enough snow. It's a matter of the temperatures being so high.
In Colorado, the snowpack is only 57% of the average level. The Florida Panhandle seeing more snow this season than Salt Lake City. The lack of white powder threatening to melt the winter economy. Vail Ski Resort operating with just 69% of its terrain open. Breckenridge just 60%. Experts warn the region is now primed for an early and aggressive wildfire season. With the upper Colorado River Basin at the heart of this drought, millions could face higher water bills and strict water usage limits in the months ahead. A low-pressure system developing over the Four Corners region is expected to bring a wintry mix to higher elevations today. But with deficits this deep, water managers warn they'll need a lot more than one storm to save the season.
We just have to be very, very judicious about how we manage the resource.
In parts of the plains, the dry ground posing a more immediate danger. This massive grass fire burning in Oklahoma. Rain is expected in that region later today.
Now let's take a closer look at your Friday forecast.
Good morning. We're monitoring two systems this weekend. A clipper system riding across New York State, interior northeast, and even down in New York City could get some slick coatings Friday night into early Saturday morning. Rest of Valentine's Day is fine. Meanwhile, moisture gathering over the Four Corners, snow over parts of Colorado to rain in West Texas, gets heavier overnight in the southern plains. Stormy day across the Mississippi River Valley on Saturday, moves to Virginia to Florida on Sunday. A wintry edge maybe from Baltimore to Philly. We'll see in New York City. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Have a great weekend.
Coming up, the top moments from the Winter Games, including the 54-year-old athlete making history.
But first, what we've learned about this massive sinkhole that opened up, swallowing this road.
And later, a shocking find under a closet in New York City. We're back with a fiery crash involving two cars in Florida. One of them had been stolen with a baby still inside the vehicle. Police rescued the innocent driver trapped inside one burning car, while another officer grabbed the toddler from the stolen vehicle. The suspected carjacker has been arrested.
A horrifying scene in Shanghai, China, when this massive sinkhole opened up and swallowed entire buildings and part of a street. Workers digging a subway line had recently discovered a water leak, which apparently caused the hole to open up, but somehow no injuries were reported.
Now to the top moments from the Winter Games, including victory on the ice, plus a 54-year-old athlete making history, and a mother-son duo joining the competition.
This morning, Team USA dominating on the ice. The men's hockey team skating to a 5-1 win over Latvia. After the game, ESPN catching up with forward Brock Nelson, a third-generation Olympian. His grandfather won gold back in 1960.
He's my biggest fan. He texts me pregame, postgame. He still checks in. My #1 supporter for sure.
On the slopes, an upset for Chloe Kim. The snowboarder was hoping for her third gold medal in the halfpipe, instead taking silver, with South Korea earning the top spot. Kim competing through injury after dislocating her shoulder just weeks before the games.
A month ago, I wasn't even sure if I would be here. And so, God, I could get emotional thinking about it, but I really worked so hard to get here. And so this medal means so much to me.
Kim's boyfriend, NFL star Myles Garrett, cheering her on. Also fighting through injury, cross-country skier Jessie Diggins. She took the bronze despite having bruised ribs, collapsing as she crossed the finish line.
I knew it was going to be a really painful day. It's easy to feel sorry for yourself, but at the same time, it's more natural to feel like, wow, I'm really lucky that I still get to be here.
A celebration of a different kind for gold medalist skier Breezy Johnson, her boyfriend proposing at the finish line. She said yes. Team USA also proving you're never too old to live out your Olympic dream. 54-year-old curler Rich Runin became the oldest American ever to compete at the Winter Games. Also making history, Mexico's 46-year-old Sarah Schlepper. She's an alpine skier competing alongside her 18-year-old son, becoming the first mother-son duo to compete at the same Winter Games.
And they even have the matching jackets to prove it. Looking at the medal count overnight, Italy's in the lead with 17 medals. Norway and the U.S. are tied for second with 14.
Let's go Team USA.
Yeah, keep it going.
Coming up, how the CIA hopes to recruit Chinese spies.
Also ahead, the company behind Ring doorbell camera taking action, addressing privacy concerns after their controversial Super Bowl ad.
和忌惮被无情绞杀，我不能让这些狂人来塑造我女儿未来的世界。
We're back with that Mandarin language video from the CIA as it ramps up efforts to recruit new spies in China. Video appeals to Chinese military officers who might be upset or disillusioned by the government's purges of top generals. The U.S. has spent years trying to reestablish sources inside China after losing spies during a Chinese counterintelligence campaign.
The company behind Ring doorbell cameras is addressing privacy concerns after a Super Bowl ad ignited controversy, and now the company is ending its partnership with a surveillance firm.
The cost of a Super Bowl ad was roughly $8 million this year.
This is Milo.
But for the home security company Ring, the cost may be a lot higher.
Search party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs.
The company's Super Bowl ad promoted a feature that scans footage from Ring cameras in your neighborhood to find lost dogs. But the ad sparked controversy. Some people online questioning if the feature could also be used to search for people.
Okay, guys, did this make me go and rip the batteries out of my Ring? I'm about to.
Critics vowing to stop using the company's products altogether.
As of today, I no longer use Ring doorbell.
Rival security camera company Wise even made a parody of the ad.
What if we could make finding one lost dog require the computational power of a small dictator-led nation state?
But Ring says the feature was built with strong privacy protections from the start, saying it can find only lost dogs and has no capability to find people. Ring also says users can opt out of the feature.
This is a privacy-first way of doing things, but it also allows us to, be better neighbors. My mission has always been to make neighborhoods safer.
Ring users have also expressed concern about the Amazon-owned company's partnership with Flock Safety, a surveillance technology company that has contracts with law enforcement to use its automated license plate readers. Flock saying it is engaged with customers to understand expectations around accountability, transparency, and lawful use.
As for the feature in that Super Bowl ad, Ring is now working to add cats to the search feature.
This next story is incredible. A chapter of history hidden for more than a century has been uncovered here in New York City. Historians believe a section of the Underground Railroad is sitting behind a second-floor closet of what's now called the Merchant House Museum. The Underground Railroad was a secret way for enslaved people making their way to the north through tunnels, private homes, and churches, seeking their freedom.
Unbelievable.
Truly. Coming up, a feature in new cars that many people find annoying might be going away.
Plus, the clever toddler who climbed his way inside a toy machine. Time to check the pulse. We begin with a dream come true for one little boy.
He was able to climb into one of those claw machines full of toys. Cooper's mom says he was out of her sight for just a few seconds, but when she turned around, he was inside the machine playing with all the toys, just totally loving life.
Police were called, but it took a service technician to free him. Next, a special moment from the NBA.
Oklahoma City's Nikola Topic made his debut last night after winning the fight of his life against cancer. Here's the welcome he got.
Battled testicular cancer. Just one preseason game into the season, had surgery, underwent chemo, and he's making his NBA debut tonight.
In addition to his cancer battle, he missed last season with a knee injury. Next, beer and baseball often go together if you're a fan.
But if you're a player during a game, it could cost you. For Nick Castellanos of the Phillies, it cost him his job. He was released by the team yesterday after admitting he brought a beer into the dugout last season. Next, a feature in new cars that some people find annoying may be going away soon.
The EPA is repealing incentives for automakers that install that so-called start-stop feature. That's when the car shuts off when you're stopped at a red light to save gas. The EPA claims the technology is almost universally hated. And finally, it's Friday the 13th.
So here's something creepy for you. A Chinese company has created a robot with warm skin. The company says robots should feel warm and approachable, literally.
Yeah, and while the skin might be warm, the robot is set to cost a cool $175,000.
Wow.
Yikes.
For warm skin? I don't know. Top headlines next. Checking more top stories, a judge has blocked the Pentagon's effort to punish Senator Mark Kelly over his recent video message to U.S. troops. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was trying to downgrade Kelly's rank and reduce his pension. The judge said Hegseth trampled on Kelly's First Amendment rights.
The USS Gerald R. Ford is expected to travel to the Middle East in the coming days, making it the second U.S. aircraft carrier deployed to the region amid ongoing tensions with Iran.
The search for Nancy Guthrie is entering day 13. Investigators say the man seen at her front door was wearing an Ozark Trail backpack. Sources say Guthrie's family is growing frustrated with the pace of the investigation.
New England Patriots receiver Stephon Diggs will be arraigned today on strangulation charges stemming from an alleged incident involving his chef. Diggs denies the allegations.
Today's weather: snow moves from the Great Lakes into parts of the Northeast. Rain in the Southwest enters the Southern Plains tonight.
And finally, some important advice before Valentine's Day.
Here's Danny New.
His parents moved away.
But I never forgot her.
As demonstrated in When Harry Met Sally, we can learn a lot about love from couples in their golden years.
Okay, 30-year-old. What do you want to know?
Which is why, for Valentine's Day, I interviewed 4 couples at Juniper Village in Paramus, New Jersey. For example, I spoke with Stanley and Alice here, who still remember their first movie date in 1956.
You remember the name of the picture?
It was dumb.
What?
These two have been married for almost 70 years. So what's their advice for a long, happy marriage?
That's the biggest thing, trust. If you make a commitment, stick by it.
And then there's Juanita and Romeo, who have been married for 61 years, ever since Juanita went up to Romeo at the YMCA and said,
I told him, I'm hungry.
The rest is history. And actually, Juanita's advice for a long, happy relationship also boils down to one word.
Be very, very, very patient.
Now let's chat with two Brooklynites, Betty and Frank, who have been married for 51 years, and now also have Leo here, who clearly loves Mom.
Well, you would love me too if you sat on my lap all day and I petted you.
Don't tempt me.
I asked them about how to properly celebrate Valentine's Day, and Betty said it's all about optimizing your timing.
Do it the next day because they overcharge you on those days. They really do. They overcharge.
And finally, I spoke with Karen and Herb, who, after meeting at Juniper Village, have been dating for 2 years.
Anonymously, he started sending me flowers. Since Herb has come into my life, life is a lot of fun.
By the way, guys, Betty, who had the dog on her lap, Valentine's Day is actually her birthday, so please join me in wishing a very happy 77th birthday to Betty.
And that's your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great Friday the 13th, everyone.